Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here, and today we will be taking a look at X Rebirth.
Pride of Albion. This prototype, built by John Ferko in 2932, was a technical masterpiece based on blueprints by engineer Bala G. Its great flexibility in engine performance, as well as weapon, shield, and hull technology, would have made it the first choice for any military organization. The model, however, never got into mass production due to excessive costs involved in building the main structure.
Alright, so this is the very start of the campaign here in X Rebirth. Our protagonist is going through some encyclopedia. This is the ship that we're actually in, and we're learning a bit about it.
The only prototype was bought by the Argon government and played an important role in the Terran conflict as well as the Plutarch Revolution in Albion, where it was registered under the Taladi Faalos Tisanos Hunas. The ship was last seen heavily damaged in a massive battle against the Plutarch Mining Corporation and was registered as lost in action.
Not quite destroyed yet. I think I have an update for this encyclopedia entry.
His voice sounds terribly familiar.
Encyclopedia. History.
Let's learn about the Albion Revolution now.
Immediately following the surprising Great Gate shutdown of 2947, the Plutarch Mining Corporation started a revolution against the Argon government forces stationed in the Albion solar system. Unable to call in any reinforcements from their home systems, the Argon military was defeated and PMC instantiated a provisional government. Despite the decades of being disconnected from the Gate network, the PMC government has since been an enormous success and brought wealth, prosperity, and security to all the people of the Albion system. Note, article locked. No updates allowed.
Yeah. Heard it all before.
That's kind of funny. Alright, so this is X Rebirth. We are at the very start of the campaign, and uh-oh. Something's in our proximity. What is it?
Is someone there? I need help.
Yes, I hear you.
I've got system failures. I need to dock.
Man, his voice is super familiar. Okay, so the user interface is rather interesting in that it's super small. I found no way to scale it up, unfortunately. You can either interact it just by mousing over or by using the hotkeys, like 1 will say okay. In this conversation, I have to let her dock. I have no other choice.
I think there's a docking port here, but I'm not sure if it's working.
You'd better be sure. I'm coming in hot.
Which I guess that makes sense, because this is going to be our co-pilot. So, kind of need her. And her purple helmet.
Hey, are you all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Thanks.
How'd you end up in that pod?
I was attacked in the highway. It happened so fast. They could still be nearby.
I checked. You were the only ship out there. We can head for the nearest station, but it'll take a while. This ship's not in the best shape.
If they come after me, then we're in trouble. Let me take a look.
Alright, so this is our ship. That's our co-pilot. She just came in. I don't know where she came. She came in from this room, but is this like the... Is this the docking area that she just walked in through? This is our little television room, the entertainment center. Also got a spot for coffee and some fun stuff like that. So I've already played through the introduction to this game. I've actually played for about 2 hours now. But I wanted to take you guys through this because I've heard a lot of people are really interested in this title. And there's a lot of launch issues that I'd like to address here in this video, mainly optimization problems.
If this is some elaborate plot to steal my ship, you should have waited until I finished repairs.
We're going to focus on the gameplay first, though.
You an engineer?
Technician. I work for the Heart of Albion, performing safety checks for working areas, ships, production lines, that kind of thing. Yisha Terran.
Reno Tani.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is the Pride of Albion.
You know your ship. I found it dumped not too far from here. I've been trying to restore it, and some joker thought it'd be funny to recode its ID to Albion Skunk.
I should probably let my people know I'm all right.
Can't help you there. I was out here looking for a replacement high-gain transmitter. It's probably best if we head to some station. We'll get going after I warm up the engines a bit.
Let's warm up the engines. Okay, so generally you can interact with the interface and menus just by using your mouse here, but if you hit space, it's going to move you into ship control mode, if you will, which allows you to sort of steer the ship around. And again, if you see frame problems, they are there. This game has many well-documented issues with its launch. Besides just general glitches and bugs, just poor optimization, the frame rate goes from fantastic to abysmal, and that's on a wide array of systems. I'm running a fairly high-end gaming PC, and I am having some pretty big issues. Okay, so
PMC ships exiting the highway.
beyond
Almost ready.
Did you know that your boost engines are disabled?
yes, I did.
Yeah, they've never worked. Something to do with.
Hold on.
She's gonna enable them. There we go. Boosting. So the ships have a general boost. I also want to let you know I'm coming into this game as an X series
What the hell
noob.
was that for?
I have no
Those were Plutarch security ships.
no experience with prior
Just
X
pull off a
games.
burn like that in their faces?
Relax. They won't catch up for a while. Look, I've got a friend on a station near here. Get me there and we'll get most of your systems back online. Check this out.
Okay, so just going through general movement.
Maneuvering thrusters should be more responsive now.
Thank you. Now stop talking. Just going through general movement again. You can lock it so that you can interact with the user interface and stuff like that, or you can disengage it, which allows you to then move your ship around. You've got general thrusters. Now those are controlled in the keyboard and mouse with Z and X, or you can also use the scroll, which allows you to scroll up speed and then scroll down speed into reverse. All of that indicated right there at the dead center.
Half of your systems were in safe mode. Did she get into a fight?
She's been like this since I found her. How about we get to that station?
Yeah, I'm going. So yeah, you'll notice right there I'm lowering the speed, and then you can actually then put it into reverse, just like that. And then you can go ahead and bring it all the way back up. It should be why aren't you going all the way back up? What are you doing? There you go. And then you can put on the boosters here, which is going to be tab, to speed things up a little bit. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going onto this sort of highway system, which allows you to move much more quickly than your ship can, and you're going to notice that's going off into the distance. All we need to do is just enter this at any point, and it's going to take us towards our objective. So here we go. It's going to pop right in, and the frames drop to almost nothing. It's fantastic. Now you're also able, there's multiple sort of instances of this that you're able to move through, and if you get behind a ship, it's going to increase your speed. I think there's supposed to be some UI information here, but this game's got, like I said, it's got some definite launch issues. So you notice those 6 different instances here, and then I can go up, and if I make it right behind a ship that's faster than the way how I'm moving, then it's going to sort of catch me up to them. You need to be quick though with it. You need to get them right as they pass, essentially. And yeah, if you can find the fastest ship, you're gonna increase your travel time, or decrease your travel time.
It's not exactly a model of comfort, but it's welcoming.
Alright, so we got a little station here that we're going to dock with. We're trying to find parts to repair our ship. Now this is the campaign mode. There's also a free mode that basically just puts you into the universe and you get to just start doing stuff. It's kind of cool, but since I'm new to the franchise, I need to learn about this game first. So that's why I'm going through the campaign, sort of just because it'll hold your hand through some of those basics. And that's supposed to be a big thing with X Rebirth compared to other games in the X series. Some people would call it a dumbing down. They're phrasing it as easier to get into, essentially. Okay, so here we go. We found a station. Now I can back up just to show you a little bit. There's various points of interest. Let me go ahead and cut those engines. Various points of interest here that you can click on to get some more information about, like the Badlands Colony. This is the Minehead. That's a basic information thing right here. And then we've got these little suitcase, which are quests, essentially. So you notice those 2 little, I think that looks like a suitcase. That's a suitcase or like a locking pad or something. But what we're most interested in right here is the ability to dock. So you just have to double click and click on dock and it'll move you right towards where you need to go. I like to sort of RP it up a bit though. And let's like really move the ship in, right? So that it's like actually within docking distance, and then we hit dock and there we go.
Requesting permission to dock.
Docking permission granted.
So it's going to cut us over, a little brief loading screen, and then we have docked. Actually, we have information first. Encyclopedia information.
Badlands Mining Colony. The The Badlands Mining Colony is one of the oldest mining facilities in Albion. Initially a high-yield but sizable rock, it was colonized by the Plutarch Mining Corporation in the year 2942. Until Albion became isolated from the rest of the universe due to the Great Shutdown, it served as the unofficial capital.
They don't always do that, but major story beats. And here's some hilariousness.
So, you want me to patch up this
Look
old
at this.
junker for free?
It's nothing too major, and I think I've earned a few favors.
You've got one favor. You're more trouble than you're worth. Okay, guy. I'll get your ship into a decent state. That includes the weapons, so you'd best keep quiet about where you got them from. There are some components around here I could use. Look around for them while I get set up.
I'll leave you boys to it.
So yeah, that random sort of popping in of those textures, that happened the last time in my first playthrough of this beginning as well. Seems like it's just one of the reported issues that people are complaining about with this game. Okay, so here we are at this little station. Any of the stations that I've docked at so far have been relatively small, not necessarily as small as this, which is just basically a landing platform. But you'll see within this video some of the other stations that we can go into. So this, I do have the AA on this game. It's not as high as it can go. I believe I'm at 4 times, and it goes up to 8 times, I believe. Let me actually, I can just show you that right here. Go into the settings, go into graphical settings. Yeah, so I'm at 4 times, and it has the potential to go up to 8 times. I don't want to mess with any of this stuff though, because it's going to reload my screen and screw up the recording. I also have the LOD, view distance, and effect distance as high as it can go. Now, I talked about frame issues, and you would say, Force, don't be stupid, turn that stuff down. It's not, it hasn't been making a difference. I have this at 0 and 100, and the areas where frames are a problem are the same. It makes no difference. Graphical stuff I can turn all the way down. I've got the shaders on low. But we do have SSAO on as well. So these are the graphical options that we have at the moment. And as you can see here clearly, I'm running a GTX 670, not the highest end. We're not looking at a 780 or a Titan or anything like that, but it's still a pretty decent graphics card that doesn't have many problems with most high demanding games. Battlefield 4 running on the highest settings at 60 frames per second without much of an issue. So it then comes down to optimization as the likely problem, and that's evidently what we're dealing with here. So yeah, we're on this little station. There's a bunch of people here that we can interact with, and if you take a look in the upper left, you're going to get some information about them when you mouse over them. So this guy right here, he is Haynes Hang. He is an engineer, and we can go ahead and talk to him, and we can ask him about repairing our ship, although we have someone currently doing that. But we could say, hey, can you repair my ship? He's saying there's nothing to repair. Story-wise, there is, but it's being done by that guy back there. And we can actually learn a little bit more about these people. Go, show me your skills.
Please. Absolutely.
This guy is a bunch of question marks, but there are instances where you're able to learn about their different capabilities in morale, management, leadership, combat, navigation, and science. You're going to actually get to see that once we're going to be hiring some people, and you'll get that information. So I could say, hey, I want to hire you, but I don't want to do that right now. Let me see. Yeah, so I could hire this engineer right now.
Until next time.
But the story hasn't told me to do that, so I'm not going to. And what about this person right here? This is also an engineer.
Come and get some bargains from me.
And we can do the same thing. You can also ask people where you can find stuff. I found this pretty useless though, because every time I get to the end of the road, they just tell me to bug off.
No, sorry, it's gone.
Like, I don't even...
Pilot, come and get some bargains from me.
Let me see. Let me ask her... Let me ask her something over here. So yeah, I asked like for directions. Let me ask by, can I hire a manager?
No, sorry, it's gone.
Every time I've asked, they have these dialogue options.
I'm all yours, buddy.
Where you can ask people where to find stuff, and they always just don't tell me where to find stuff. So I don't even know why these exist. Like, where can I find ship crew? Where can I find a pilot?
Sorry, no time to chat.
Every single person I've interacted with in these first few hours that I played this game, and I've asked them
I'm all yours, buddy.
where to find stuff, it's always a non-answer. I don't understand why that stuff even exists if they're not going to respond to me. And this dude right here, he is a defense officer. Can I see his
Show me
skills?
your
No, there's a bunch
skills,
of
please.
question marks as well.
Till next
So just a little weird that these things exist, but they lead to nothing. I don't exactly know. I haven't quite figured out the purpose of that yet. But anyways, here we go. Looking for engine components, they are right here. Now also, in any one of these places where you land and you go into this first person mode, there's typically a bunch of lockers or boxes like this that you're able to find stuff in. So if we just click on them and ta-da, you just pick it up just by clicking on it. It's gonna be a little, and it also shows just by mousing over what's in it. So let me show here, get out of there. There we go. So mouse over this, it shows, okay, so we got some of that stuff, I'm gonna pick it up. So, I mean, you don't need to take that time. I see no reason not to pick up anything. I haven't encountered anything like a inventory capacity, although that may very well be the case, because again, I have only played for a few hours, so. And the point of this video isn't like an in-depth overview, it's just more, let me show you the beginning of the game, let me show you a little bit of what you're getting yourself into. And let me tell you about the problems that I've encountered, such as those frame issues and then those random texture poppings that you saw right at the start of this area. Okay, so we collected what we needed, now we'll talk to him.
Thanks. If I were doing this, we'd better do it right. You should get on board and prepare to give a test run.
But first I want to know what you can tell me about Isha.
That Yisha girl, she's nice and all, but don't expect things to be simple with her around.
She told me she was with the Heart of Albion. Sounds pretty respectable.
Sure, but the Heart of Albion aren't the PMC's best friends, are they? I say spend the time in her world. Heart of Albion will either get you into charity work or cyber terrorism. Never a dull day.
Thanks for the help.
Fair enough. Alright, so we're gonna be going back onto the ship now. I mean, there's definitely an allure to this game that I've found in these first few hours. Like I got those first few hours went by quick, I guess is what I'd like to say. Like that I'm getting a little sucked into this universe. It's definitely has some very interesting parts. But again, that's not to say it's not without its issues. All right, so our ship
Systems are looking
has
good.
been
Weapons
fixed.
are working. Let's give the targeting system a run through.
We are going to go ahead and pull out of here, and I'd like to go up a little bit. All right, so we get yellow icons. These are mission targets.
Stored in ship computer database.
So for our current mission, we go towards those targets. You're gonna increase our speed here. Something else I'd like to tell you too about the movement. So obviously there is a ability to move up and down, ascend and descend rather. There's also barrel roll options. Woohoo! All right, let's go ahead and move towards the mission targets though. Right mouse button to fire a weapon towards, and it's gonna go wherever your cursor is. So we're trying to blow this thing up. And while shooting, for some time, the bar of the weapon panel heats up. So notice that right there,
Faster to use the mining laser.
right here in the cockpit. We fire this weapon, that thing heats up and can eventually do, overheating, in which it would need cooling. So try to make sure it doesn't overheat. Now this is really slow. There is an alternate weapon that we're able to use with N, and this is going to be here our mining laser. Let's see how that works against these rocks. Yeah, looks a little bit better. And again, it's going to follow your cursor around. You can just make a little design on it. Not really, but finish it until it blows up. There we go.
It's a shame you don't have a cap ship with collector drones. The minerals in these rocks are used in many industries.
So if we had a mining ship in our squad, which we don't at the moment, you're, as far as I can tell, you get
So, did you manage
Squads
to contact
and-
anyone?
different
Yeah,
types of
they know
ships.
I'm okay. I'd hate to be a bother, but could you take me to them? It's not far from here.
Yeah, no problem. Again, I only have one dialogue option, so
Given
sure.
how well the skunk is performing, it's the least I can do.
Thanks. I'll mark the location in your guidance system. We'll be meeting with the Heart of Albion ship to pick me up.
Wonderful. Let's blow up these rocks. So yeah, you're able to get different squads with different types of ships.
Stable. The odd job here and there. More to keep me busy than make money.
A freelancer, then. Not a bad job if you can find enough work.
My
Indeed.
father worked for Plutarch Mining Corporation for
We'll
many
go in here
years.
while we listen to
Seeing
this.
how stressed he became, I don't think corporate life is for me. He's gone now, but he left me here to choose what I want to do.
If you want to spend your time restoring old ships, you found a good one.
So again, using these different streams and trying to find the ones with the fastest ships, we're gonna get us to where we're going a little bit quicker. And then we have to leave the highway once we get to that certain distance. So,
We should fly over to
There
the
we go.
highway now.
Okay, wonderful.
Entering even temper.
So here is another space station now. Now our objective at the moment, though, let's follow that arrow right there at the center of the screen. We're supposed to be going to a different highway, and we're supposed to be taking that. So notice we've got that other highway, that yellow stream straight ahead. I'm gonna cut this off. There we go. So this is the highway that we were just going through. Here is another one which is going to take us in another direction, essentially. The cool thing, though, is like, look at this. We've got this whole space station here. So there's all of this stuff over here, and there'll be different little locations and places that you can dock or collect quests. And there's also some over here. There's going to be different locations within there and things you can collect quests. Now, if you're wondering about all these blue things that I can click on, these are just other ships that I can click on. So we can click on them and learn some more information about them. We can also chat with them if we want. So we'll click on a ship, and then, oh no, that's not a ship. We want to click on a ship. Let me go ahead and bring this back into steering mode. And then we hit C.
What now?
And we can talk to them a little bit. We can tell them to surrender. Jesus, I hate this. We can tell them to surrender. We can ask them where to find things. But again, as we've seen before, that where to find thing doesn't really do much. But not going to talk to this guy at the moment, though, because we do want to do what the story is telling us. I'd like to continue to progress through this to show you guys some more things. So back into slip space, or whatever the heck this stuff's called. Again, I've never been a space guy. The biggest thing that I've been into space related is Ender's Game. And no, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the books. I've just never. My fantasy setting, the one that I'm interested in, is always the high fantasy RPG sort of setting. Space is never, Star Trek and Star Wars. I know all that stuff's great. It's just never been something I've been really interested in. But maybe it's something, that I'm going to start being interested in, because this is kind of cool. Like, I like this traveling through space and going to different space stations and all sorts of stuff.
Entering auspicious excavation.
I think it's pretty neat. All right, so we got right over here. So again, we just cut the engines here, turn around. We just jumped out of that highway. Here's another space station area, different from the one that we were at just a moment ago. But we do have the quest over here, which is to go towards this ship straight ahead. So let's bump up those engines, speed things up here with our boosters a little bit. The booster detail information is right down over there. You can see that boost going down.
There. They'll be expecting us.
This is Falk Borman to the Albion Skunk. I take it you have Yisha Terran on board?
This is Ren Otani. Yes, she's here.
Should we come in to dock?
I'm sorry, Yisha, but we can't risk it at the moment. Captain Otani, I'm transferring some credits to your account as we speak. I hate to be so abrupt, but time is short, and bringing Yisha on board could potentially put her and others in danger.
I'm sorry, but I have to say, I'm confused. You want her to stay here?
I'm sure Yisha can elaborate. She is currently better off with you than with us. Consider this a passenger transport job, Captain Otani. A well-paid one at that. We'll be in contact when this all blows over.
So we received a bunch of
I
credits.
didn't know he was going to do that.
So now what?
You're the captain. What would you normally do?
I have a freighter parked up not too far away. How about we head there and you explain what this is all about?
All right, so the ship didn't want her. We don't know why. It just disappeared. I don't know why it disappeared, but
So, I assume this has something to do with the constant trouble Heart of Albion.
But we're going over here.
We do what we can. Plutarch has operations you wouldn't believe existed.
Didn't mean to go in there.
Starting to think Borman didn't pay me enough.
Maybe the less you know, the better. We're not some crackpot group. Many in Heart of Albion are old Argon military veterans. They're pretty much the last of the Argon Federation in Albion.
And then Plutarch came to power after the gates shut down. You should be happy Plutarch even tolerates your group.
I'd like to see them try and shut us down.
One thing that really bugs me is every time I'm going into slip space, or whatever, again, whatever the heck this stuff's called, I can't tell if I'm supposed to be going beyond it or towards it. Now, at this point, it's obvious because the only thing in front of me is this. But whenever there's a space station behind it, I'm always like, wait, am I supposed to be going towards the space station or into the stream? Anyways, that's just a minor complaint. So you can't really interact with, oh, that's a bad ship. Let's get away from that. That's an evil ship. You can't really, there's no clicking on the cockpit stuff here. But there is a menu that you're able to pull up to get a bunch of different information. We'll take a look at that shortly, though, and exit that for now. And we are just trying to travel to our station here. We're gonna be there in just 1 second. Just speed things up and then pop right out of that.
Entering distant fume.
And now we're gonna go into a highway. A little bit different from these streams. The streams will sort of take you from space station to space station, but this thing is supposed to take you, as far as I understand, long distances. So let's go ahead and hop into this right now. Skull/suitcase icon. So that was a suitcase icon. Those are the missions that you're gonna find at the various stations that you go to. And I haven't done any missions, even though I've been playing this game for a couple of hours. I still haven't done any missions beyond the main storyline ones. So, all right.
Looks like the Sovereign Syndicate is causing trouble. Best keep our distance. Take a look at the map to check where they're heading.
I'm supposed to go into this other thing here. So yeah, there's some enemy ships there. There is, you know, like space dogfighting that happens in this game. I won't be quite taking a look at it at this. Why don't we just take a moment to sort of explore the space station? I'd like to do that with you. I haven't even really done that much myself, so. So again, here's an example. Here's a skull icon, so we could sort of pick up this quest. I think I just need to get a little bit closer to it. There we go. So we're close enough now, we can click on it. You found a mission offer. Click on the nearby offer to get more information about the mission. So we're gonna go ahead and click on
I
this.
want you to do a disappearing trick on someone I know. This person never reappears. You follow?
He wants me to just kill someone. Let's hit accept, see what happens.
I thought you would never make it mind up. Good to have you.
All right, let me check my quest log here. I'm not sure where the quest log is. Bear with me for a second. Like I said, I'm new to this. I am just completely new to this. I could have sworn there was a mission manager. There we go. Okay, so this is gonna bring up this little information, and this is very hard. Destroy, jump, tunnel. Wait a second, what? So this is a generic mission. It's very hard though. I don't know if I should, and then we can set to the active, which will be the one that we need to go to. All right. Well, we'll keep that. I'm gonna stick to the main plot mission for now. We'll do that though before we, or at least, you know, I'd like to do that before we end the video. But let's exit that and let's go ahead and do the main story mission here. We're gonna fly into our little slip space. People are probably gonna get so mad. Okay, so this is a highway. I don't know what, I thought the blue ones were called the highways, but apparently these are the highways. Time to leave. Oh boy!
Entering Cuspid Splint.
Okay, alright, what are we supposed to do here now? Take a look up here. Something. Is it really just like behind me? Is that another one that we're supposed to be going into? Or is it beyond that? See what I mean? This is specifically what I'm talking about. I can't tell, although maybe the icon is the, maybe it's, the icon probably tells me exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah, I'm assuming that's actually exactly it. So yeah, it looks like the, whatever, you know, I gotta pay attention to the icon. It looks like those are the highway icons that I should be looking for. Will tell me if I'm supposed to go into the highway or something right beyond it. So it shouldn't be as confusing as it is basically what I'm saying. All right, so now we're gonna be able to take a look at some station docking. Not like the one that we saw before, in which we just were on this little launch pad thing, but this is actually going to be a full-fledged station, which, you know, isn't much in and of itself. But given this expansive universe and all these different things,
there she is.
I don't blame
can't say I've used her for trading much. Never got around to finding a crew.
Were you expecting company? Are these drones yours?
No, I can't say they are. They're headed this way.
Oh no.
Drones from the Sovereign Syndicate. Do you ever have a quiet day?
Okay, so we got some drones here, and we use our lasers to fire at them. And we got strafing. We also have the barrel roll thing. I need to just try to shoot them. Where the frick did they go? Down over here. Come on, come on, come on. What are you doing? I hate you. It's freaking space combat, I swear to God. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's great. Let's go back up. I'm gonna get a little bit further away here because we were having some problems there. Okay, here we go.
Engine Mark 1 damaged.
And our engine is damaged.
Steady shield Mark 1 damaged.
What is going on?
All damaged.
I didn't have this much problem like when I first did it. This is really bad. I think we're like about to blow up. And I don't even have my launchers right now either. This is mighty hilarious. Last time I did this, I don't even remember taking damage. Like, I don't know why my ship, well, I know why my ship is exploding. It's because these guys are shooting me and I'm just kind of spinning around in circles trying to find them. I also used my mining laser last time, so that's what I'm gonna do this time too. Oh my God. This is hilarious. Alright, we got one of them. But this little frickin', these dinky little drone fighters are literally blowing me up.
The station would have made it without your help.
Okay, we're gonna get this guy. Oh my God, I was literally worried we were about to explode and then just like this entire video for not. What the heck, where is he? I'm trying to follow him and it's not working out.
Shields critical.
Jesus. Well, it's safe to say I suck at this space combat, huh? Oh, good. Finally destroyed the drones.
Move the ship. A boarding party may be on the way.
I guess they saw a ship just sitting here. Thought it would be an easy steal.
You should check the nearby stations. There are usually pretty capable freelance captains ready to take charge of a ship.
Let me guess. You know just the guy.
Yeah.
Not specifically, but I think I can point you in the right direction.
Here's your credits. I don't know if the station would have made it without your help.
Thank you. So we saved the station as sloppy as it was and got some credits as a result. Congratulations. Now let's go into
Database is missing info on
the highway.
You should be able to gather information on objects like stations when you pass nearby.
Entering Watergate.
Watergate, this appears to be a very large stage. Look at that giant satellite. So this is the stuff
Apparently, I was born in this zone.
that I think is
Station
really
doesn't
cool.
exist anymore after Plutarch recycled what they didn't need to shore up their ship production.
So this is the stuff that I think is really cool. Just like there's these big sprawling stations. It doesn't seem like you can. It's not like you can just dock anywhere. I guess that would be to be assumed. There's only like a few places that you can actually dock to. Like for example, let me go down to this thing, see what this is.
Computer database.
Now shut up, Betty.
So I can dock here. Okay, so we could dock here and go into this. Again, this is not what our story is telling us to do. There's a police officer sort of thing just came up on us. Story's telling us to go over here. We're looking for a pilot for a ship for our crew. And so that's what we're going to go do right now.
Gather information on objects like stations when you pass nearby. There are sometimes opportunities to find discounts which can pay off later.
And then I think we're going to just pick up the captain for our ship. And we're probably going to cut the video sometime shortly after that. Because I could literally probably just keep playing this for a couple of hours and just, show it to you guys. But it's not exactly a super entertaining video. But I hope this serves its purpose of at least showing you what this game is like, fundamentally. And helping inform you as to whether or not it's something you're interested in buying. Please do bear in mind,
Look for a captain.
lots of people complaining about issues. I haven't experienced any crashes personally, but lots of people talking about crashes, the frame issues I have had to deal with. So please keep that stuff in mind if you consider buying. You might be one of the unlucky few that are just crashing nonstop and can barely play this game. All right, so we're gonna dock right here.
This is the Albion Skunk. Requesting permission to dock.
It's gonna let us go into the station and find ourselves a captain. Okay, so here we go.
Shy. Try speaking to someone. Don't believe everything they say, especially if it's about how qualified they are. If I'm ever looking to hire someone or get a good deal, I usually try to sweet talk them.
There we go. I don't know, it just wasn't responsive for a minute. Okay, so we have to talk to some people. Some can be hired. Others unlock rewards. So let's like talk to this person. What is this? She's an arms dealer.
And chat. I'll
So
make
she-
it worth your visit if you
So
shop
she can
here.
sell me stuff. I can ask her where to find stuff, but as we've experienced before,
Show me your wares, please.
Fair enough.
that doesn't do us much good. And we can buy these various things. Looks like V crushers, missiles, Nova drones. So various things that we can pick up. There's a credit system. We have 200,000 credits from the various
Nice
quests that we have
chat.
done so far.
Not.
I don't feel like buying any of those because I don't necessarily know. I'm assuming those are just, you know, those are ship weapons, right? There's no first-person combat here. We're never running around with a
Watch
gun.
out for containers packed with goodies. If it's not locked or nailed down, grab it.
What's wrong with you?
If you don't mind getting dirty, take a look in the vents too.
Yeah. So she's basically telling me, hey, there's stuff that you can interact with and get loot, which is these sorts of things here. There's even a crouch. And I think that's specifically for going into the vents. I haven't found any vents to go into. Maybe we'll try to see if we can find some of those in here. Given the fact that she's talking about vents, I'm assuming there are vents in here that we could go into. I don't really know what to look for when it comes to that. And then all of a sudden the frames just went to crap. Okay, so here's just like a random vent. So this is exactly... So we can crawl into the vents and maybe there'll be stuff in here. There we go. Kind of weird. Just like, you know, just crawling through vents. This sort of thing makes perfect sense in, you know, like stealth games. It's just kind of funny. I'm not complaining about it. Hey, more features, right? That's great. It is kind of funny though. Don't you say? Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you agree? Just a little bit funny. All right, so we have to acquire a captain. Let's see if we can find one here. Here in the space station. That guy's working on something. I don't want to bother him. Let's go through here. Much of advertising for adult entertainment. Now gonna have to put like a mature rating on my video just for this. All right, let's go down here. See if we have the captain. What is this guy? He's an engineer. So what we could do with him,
Is there anything I can offer you?
we could ask him to repair our ship, which it definitely needs. Yeah, repair all. I'll throw my credits at that. My ship got blown up because that combat sequence was horrendous. I'm not even kidding. I'm not saying it just to save face or something. Literally, the last time that I did that combat sequence, it was not nearly as problematic for me. I don't know what the issue was there.
fly away.
Okay, so here's a bunch of different people we can hire. There's the manager. That's an architect. That's a ship technician. Now, the only person it's telling me to hire at the moment is the captain. And interestingly enough, I will say this. When I first played through... Oh, that's funny. When I first played through the campaign, and I went to this first station to hire a captain, this was not what the area looked like. So I don't know if this is randomized or if the captain that it's telling us to find is just at a different station than the one that I was at before. I honestly couldn't tell you. But this, like last time I found a captain in this little hallway all by himself, it was not the same space station. It wasn't this lady entertainment dance club area, which it is right now. So I find that interesting that it's different than the last time I played in the campaign.
Hey there.
Okay, so we're gonna hire you. And You cost 10,000 credits. Sounds good.
Thank you for hiring me, sir. You will not be disappointed.
All right, calm down. So he has joined our crew now, going aboard the ship. And before I return to the ship, I'm not going to hire any of those other people right now because the story's not telling me to. But I'd like to continue to just explore the space station to show you guys. So we got like a vending machine there. A couple of X games. Oh wait, what is this? 2. All right. I'd like to see, is this really like... So don't expect Mass Effect levels of space stations. I would say that much, but it looks like they're doing at least a little bit of something. What is this guy here? I'm assuming he's selling something. Oh, that's kind of cool. We got a little fish tank here. This is a recruiting officer.
Pilot, is there anything I can offer you?
I can hire Marines. Wow, that's
Until
cool.
next time.
So they would just like come on my ship and whatever. Let's take a look. I mean, is this like they call this a dance station? Is this really? Yeah. So I mean, there's a little bit of stuff going on here, and there's all sorts of different people we can talk to. I mean, you know, without the third-person combat, I'm getting, you know, I definitely get like that vibe, the Mass Effect vibe of the sprawling universe and all these different people. It's definitely much more, you know, it's tuned down a bit, I would obviously say, but that's to be expected. It's not nearly as expensive. It's not, you know, we wouldn't consider this a AAA title. Kind of disappointing that. So this is the, I guess this is the dance area. It's just not really much dancing going on, but that's okay. All right, so we're gonna go back on our ship. Our captain will then be able to pilot the ship, and he will join our, not our ship, but one of the ships that we own. He'll be able to pilot it, and then he joins our crew, which will follow us around, or I think we can send it out to do different tasks and stuff like this. See, yeah, it's, as someone who's never really been into space stuff, I do find this kind of cool. A couple of the complaints that I've heard from people, one of the major complaints that I've heard, besides all the optimization issues and stuff like that. Let's see what she has to say before I go on. I've heard people complain about the user interface. It's sort of hard for me to judge in comparison to other X games, once again, because I have no experience with other X games. It is small. It's kind of weird. Like, the main menu that you're going to be pulling up all the time is this thing right here. But if you're just using the hotkeys, I guess it's not that bad. And you can go into different modes, and there's like station scan mode, which will change your HUD, and it'll let you scan, will let you do what it sounds like. It lets you scan the station, like check all the different spots and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And they can disable it. There's also a scan mode to like check out other ships and things like that. The game seems pretty neat. First impressions are, I like it. I'm going to keep playing. I hope these issues, the bugs, obviously, but then most importantly, because I can deal with a few bugs and like NPCs popping in randomly, texture issues. I can deal with a little bit of that, but frame choppiness is really kind of bothersome, and I hope that's something that they fix. You know, this video could go on forever. There's probably a bajillion things that I could show you, but I just wanted to show you from some gameplay from the very beginning of the game and give you a little bit of an introduction so you can know what to expect from X Rebirth. I think it's not bad. Keep an eye on if you're considering buying this and you want to wait until some of these issues get fixed, just keep an eye on the Steam forums, keep an eye on the official forums. Which actually, last I heard, the official forums were down, so maybe just keep an eye on the Steam forums. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and bring this guy over, tell him to pilot our ship, and then that's going to do it. So thanks, guys, so much for watching. This has been a look at the beginning of the campaign in X Rebirth. My first impressions are pretty good. I like this game coming from a guy who has no X experience and very little interest in space stuff in general. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Whoa, boy. Be careful here. All right, we gotta tell him to. No, we gotta tell him. We have to tell him to man our ship here. Where do we do that? There was somewhere. Did I miss it? There was some. Deliver. I'm trying to. Where do I have to go down here? I missed that text that just popped up. I did not see what that said, which is not good. I need to have. Okay, here we go. Stop, stop, stop. Cut the engines, cut the engines. Thank you. All right. Dock.
This is the Albion Skunk. Requesting permission to dock.
Awesome. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. We have to cut this now, because otherwise I'm just going to keep on playing. If you guys like the content, please subscribe, and I will make sure to follow you up. So long as I continue to play this, which I expect you, I will be able to follow this up with some further in-depth impressions videos, maybe early next week or sometime this weekend. If you like the content, please subscribe. As I already said, keep watching and keep owning. I am stuck behind a bunch of crates. That kind of sucks. All right, so we need to deliver the captain. What did it tell me to do? How do I do that? Crew. Call remotely. Captain. Call.
Hey there.
I need you to... No, you're not fired. I need you to work here.
Okay, sir. I'm moving into my new quarters now.
Alright, so you work here. Where are you? Are you working? I don't even see you. I just saw... What the hell? It's a little inconsistent, but that's okay.
You should add the ship to your squad. Once in your squad, the ship will follow you.